I used to date a woman for 5 years. We did everything together. I loved her deeply. But she removed 7 pregnancies during our relationship. After a while, fear started eating me up. I wasn't sure she would ever give me children again because of all that happened. So I made a painful decision and ended things with her. I told my mother that I wanted to marry a virgin, someone who loved God, someone who would make a good wife and a good mother. My mom smiled and said she knew the perfect person. She introduced me to a young woman in her church choir. According to my mom, this girl was humble, homely, respectful, and very responsible. When we met, she told me she was a virgin and didn't want anything intimate before marriage. That made me respect her more. And honestly, it made me hurry the wedding because I didn't want to wait too long. Our wedding night was emotional. She cried the whole time. I was so proud, thinking I was her first. I promised her everything I could, and I kept most of those promises. After 1 year, we welcomed my first son. My wife became more dedicated to church. Morning, afternoon, night. I didn't want her working until she finished having all our children. Eventually blessed us with 2 more kids, another boy and a girl. Life seemed perfect until one day everything changed. One afternoon, my wife called me crying. One of our sons had fallen sick and was rushed to the hospital. I abandoned my business and raced there. The doctor told me the boy needed blood urgently. I told him confidently, my wife and I are O positive. We can donate. Then the doctor looked at me strangely and said something that nearly stopped my heart. Sir, your son is AB. He can't come from 2 O positive parents. My world went silent. I told him to run the test again. They tested me, tested my wife, and then tested my son again. Yet it came back the same. Something in my chest cracked open. I took my other children for a test as well, and the result hit me like a moving truck. None of the 3 children were mine. My legs almost gave way. I had doubts before, but because I thought I married a virgin, I forced the thoughts away. But now the truth was standing in front of me, bold and heartless. When we got home, frustration blinded me. I slapped her and demanded answers. And that was when she dropped the bombshell. She looked me in the eyes and said, I was never a virgin. I only acted holy because my boyfriend back then was broke. I needed a rich man. So I joined the church activities so someone like you would notice me. My head was spinning. Everything I believed, everything I trusted, everything I built was a lie. And now, the biggest question of my life is staring at me. What do I do with children who are not mine? Children I love, children I raised, children I have invested so much into. After her confession, my whole body went numb. I felt like a fool. A man who was played from the very beginning. She stood there crying, but her tears meant nothing to me anymore. Everything about her felt acting. For days, I couldn't eat, couldn't sleep, couldn't think straight. 3 children that I loved with all my heart, suddenly none of them were mine. I started replaying things in my head. Her constant trips to church, her sudden over-spiritual behavior, her refusal to walk, how she cried on our wedding night. Everything now had a different meaning. She didn't just deceive me, she strategically deceived me. What hurt me most wasn't even the betrayal. It was the fact that she sat with me for years, watching me love children that belonged to someone else. When I confronted her again, she finally confessed the full truth. The man she was dating before me, the broke boyfriend, was actually the father of all 3 kids. They were still secretly seeing each other, even after we got married. He would come around whenever I wasn't home. Why I thought church kept her busy, it was him. I felt like the walls were closing in. Now I'm stuck between 2 impossible choices. Walk away and leave the kids I've raised for years, or stay in a marriage built on lies. How do I even begin to explain this to my family, to my mother? I keep looking at those children, their smiles, their innocence, and something inside me breaks. I've fed them, protected them, celebrated them. What do I do now? I'm lost. I need help because I don't want to sound selfish. But I also don't want a woman who lied to me from the very beginning to enjoy the life she built on deceit. And I don't know how to move from here.